All right, hey guys, we're going to talk through the protein notes today. These notes are they're very basic on the slides, and then I kind of really explain some things. So I wanted to do that today, otherwise they just really don't make sense. So we're jumping into our protein notes. We'll see if this will load. Too much happening. Okay, so the three main concepts of our notes today are learning that proteins are made up of essential and non-essential amino acids. So learning what those are, what amino acids are, and what non-essential and essential are. We're going to understand the major function of protein is the construction and maintenance of the body tissues. And then the third thing is we're going to learn that building and repairing cells happens best when all the essential amino acids are present. So all of that kind of sounds like gibberish right now. So we're going to try to break that down throughout the notes. Okay, so the function of protein. The reason we need to eat protein, the reason we need it in our diet is because it is the building blocks. It is what makes up a lot of parts of our body. So if we lack in protein, those parts start to break down and suffer. So three things that are made up of protein. Our muscles, our enzymes, and our hormones are all made up of proteins. So muscle, we all know that, like bodybuilders eat a lot of protein shakes, things like that. So it's required for your muscles to grow, but it's also required for them to maintain. So if you are low in protein, you might have a hard time, like you might tear muscles more frequently. Okay, your enzymes, which enzymes are a catalyst. They help speed up reactions in the body. So there's enzymes in your stomach that help you digest your food. You're not eating enough protein, you don't have great enzymes, or your proteins can't help speed up. They can't work with the enzymes to make those processes work well. And then hormones are made up of protein. So you might get a hormone imbalance if you're not eating enough protein. Okay, so some more functions. We've already said tissue maintenance and repair. Protein also provides a lot of energy, and it also helps you feel full or satiated, is that word. So if you think about a meal that you've had recently where you didn't have any protein, you were probably super hungry and really tired later on in that day, very soon after. So they kind of help complete that meal. Okay, so amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. Protein is made up of amino acids. There are 20 amino acids. 9 of them are called essential. So essential meaning that they are essential for your body to function the way that it should. So essential means your body has to have them to function properly. So for all of the normal things to happen, all the good things to happen, you have to have all essential amino acids in your diet. Every protein is kind of a unique combination of all amino acids. Some have all the essential ones already in them and they're called complete, and some don't and they're called incomplete. So here's a list of them. I wonder if I can move. There we go. So on the left is the non-essential and on the right is the essential. I'll never ask you to know those. I don't know those, but there's just a list of them. So complete proteins have all 9 of the essential. So they have every amino acid that you need to help your body function. Complete proteins have all of them in that one source. So they are always considered like really good sources of protein. So things like chicken, beef, all your animal sources, they all have all the essential amino acids plus some extras. So that's why they're considered so good. But there's lots of other foods that are also complete. So tofu, tempeh, soy nuts, edamame, those are all plant sources that are complete. So those are also really great sources of the amino acids. If you choose to eat incomplete proteins, which is totally a valid choice, or maybe if you're a vegetarian, you are supposed to get what's called complementary proteins in your diet. So having multiple sources of protein in your diet so that when they are combined, you get all those 9 essential amino acids. So if you have like a meal that has both beans and rice, you will get all 9 essential amino acids. They're complementary to each other. Okay, so I like to point out 2 protein diseases during these notes, just because of our diet culture. The society picks a different nutrient to be its enemy every few years it'll change. So right now it's carbs. Everybody's on a low carb diet, low sugar diet. Those are the same thing. And before, when I was growing up, it was a low fat diet that everybody was on. There should never be a low protein diet because you can get really sick from it. Your body literally breaks down from a low protein. So these are the two things. So the first one, the name comes from Ghana, it means the disease that the first child gets when the second child comes or the new child comes. So this occurs typically in really low poverty, low income areas. And the mom would exclusively breastfeed her children. And so when she has a child, she will feed them breast milk up until the next child comes. And the next child would have to wean and start eating food. And at that point, the diet would go from the most perfect nutritious food in the world, which is breast milk, which is literally perfectly nutritious, to probably a high carb, low fat, or high carb, low protein diet. So rice, breads, tortillas, right? Things that are super high in carbs and then not a lot of protein, just because protein is expensive and hard to get and carbs are really easy to get. So this is a super life-threatening and debilitating form of malnutrition just caused by the lack of protein. It's easily treated with a change of diet. And if it's caught early, the child usually has a full recovery. So if they get a more balanced diet, they eventually will be fine. The other one is really just malnutrition altogether. So grossly insufficient amounts of protein and calories. So the child is just not getting enough food. They exhibit severe weight loss and severe growth impairment. So the two next to each other, you can see one of them, their body on the left, that's the first one, their body is breaking down. It doesn't have enough protein, it doesn't have carbs, so the body's kind of storing that, going into fight or flight mode. And their skin, like, it has an itchy rash, it has poor wound healing. Their skin is not able to heal itself because your skin is a tissue that's made up of protein. And then the second one, the other one, the baby's just very underfed, right? So they have prominent bones, very loose skin, they're just not fed enough. And so those are kind of the two results of a low protein. One is also super low calorie. So just kind of to show the importance of protein in your diet. So that's it. We're going to look at types of protein, good, bad, meat, animal, everything throughout the next coming days.